Welcome everybody, Andre here. Sorry about the delay, I was just checking something. Andre here from fxSSS.net. When it happens, we're there. We will take you there, we will show you. Right. In this video, we're going to examine our signals and how accurate they are, how reliable are these signals, what can we do with them. Okay. We have 4 types of entry signals, actually 5, and we have 3 exit signals. Okay. So I'm going to put up our entry signals right now. Just find it. And here they are. Okay. And you can see they numerically arranged. So we have 5, like I said, these are the 5 there, right? The first one being blood in water. I don't really advocate that unless it's on a higher time frame. The 1. Blue means go long, by. Maroon or red means sell. Okay. So the 1 is the blood in water. 2 is the MBL has been crossed. 3 is shark fin. I think that's everybody's favorite. This big shark fin here, right? 4 is a retracement or peak formation high. 5 is a major peak formation high, peak formation low, reversal. The 4 will appear 2 candles later. The 5 will appear 1 candle later. So you can see a 4 here, and those semaphores that I pointed out, 2 candles back, these there, 1, 2, the semaphore has occurred. And the reason for this is, as we mentioned, as we spoke about in the previous videos, is that people say these semaphores repaint. We acknowledge their concern thereof, so we notify you of semaphore occurrence when it comes to a retracement, when it comes to a reversal, 2 candles later on 9, and on a 36. Sorry, I'm looking, there's a 36 there. There's a 5. You can see that 5 is before the 4. The 5 will be 1 candle later. Right. So let me switch these off. These are the signals. Now, looking at this here, I must make mention of the fact that these signals come once per candle, and it comes after the formation, a certain percentage of formation of the candle has taken place. So I think it's set, I set it to 25%. I've been trying to guesstimate what's a good time frame, but I would appreciate it if you guys get into top-down analysis trading. Look for signals coming from 1 hour, 4 hour, maybe 30 minutes, but don't trade over 15. It's chaos, right? Enter on a 15, enter on a 5, but look for signals coming off 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hour. This is a 4 hour in front of us right here. Okay, and these are more definite, more certain. These I trust more, right? So you'll see your entry signals here. In another video following this one, we're going to do a top-down analysis because, like I mentioned, these here enable me to do a top-down analysis. So I will do a top-down analysis on that day, right? These particular indicators I use for top-down analysis. I fix my supply and demand buttons that were misbehaving. So this helps me with my analysis. I'm in a supply zone right now. And funny enough, I'm in you still misbehaving. A supply and resistance zone. Let me just put my fractal one up. Same thing, right? I can see there a fractal support and resistance. Okay, support, resistance. Right? The difference between supply and demand has been, a war that's been waging for many, many years between the protagonists and antagonists of supply and demand. And all that one needs to understand is supply is a one-point touch. It becomes supply and demand is a one-point touch, which becomes support and resistance after that supply and demand zone has been touched. Right. So if you look at supply and demand up here, it's been touched, and now it becomes it started out there. as a supply zone. You can see this is still a supply zone. It's fresh. Sorry, demand zone. It's fresh. Here it's been touched. That's why it looks like a broken block, so to say. Right? And here it's been touched, and many times break-in resistance guys would say break-in retest, and so it goes on. Right? So the difference between supply and demand, support and resistance, they have a relationship. That's what I realized. And if I take this out here, I also put up what this big talk all over always of these order blocks. I just hear order blocks wherever I go. So here's your order blocks, your weekly order block, your daily order block, your monthly order block. And these order blocks are institutional areas of interest. And these guys, you can see here, there's some recognition taking place of order block here, right? So we need to take all of that into consideration when we become mature traders or so. But who says we can't start now, right? Because if you get into Wyckoff and you get into ICT and you start with BTMM, you're going to graduate into ICT. You learn that it's the same thing, really. Now, why we chose to become trend traders is despite what manipulation has, in order to move from one point of manipulation, right, to move from one point of manipulation to another is a trend. There is a trend. There is a trend. Distorted trend, but a trend nonetheless. There is a trend, right, with institutional interaction taking place along the way. Okay. And most importantly, we recognize this institutional action during the course of this trend. Yeah, I can see Wyckoff definitely. What do they call that? Accumulation. And here's something taking place here. If you don't understand this, well, we'll get into it, but don't let it scare you. Don't let it bother you. This is a 4-hour. You can see also nicely, much nicer here, the one-day candle, what's actually happening. So let's examine our signals. Right, enough of it. Let's make money. Let's grab some pups. Put the Sonics back on. And let's see. Remember I said to you, one is sniper. Why do I don't favor that much. Reason why I say, with a sniper, do not look for an exit. Rather look for pups. Right? If you're going to get into sniper, which is 1, right? There's a 1 there. Can you see it just ends there? But it's a sniper nonetheless. It's a small area of sniper. Let's give ourselves more room here. It's a 4-hour TDI. And let's make this a 1-day TDI because this is a 4-hour chart. Let's make this a 1 day. For us to analyze much quicker. Yeah, well, here's a 1 day, right? And there's a sniper. And that's a blue sniper, but look, here's a 1 day. Below, it's actually, if you have a 1 day candles, this would be a 1 day sniper. In fact, a 1 day MBL, right? Here's a MBL, there's a MBL, that's cool. That's a good one. Right? 1 day MBL, yeah. 4-hour MBL. 1 hour MBL, well, this is still 4 hours, sorry. Jump down to 1 hour. We'll jump down right now. So here's 4 hours. You need the patience to trade. And you need to trust your indicators, and you need to make good analysis here. And all these indicators help you. The signals really do help you. Here's 2 MBL. Here's a 4, which is a semaphore that has taken place on a 9 that happened 2 candles ago. Switch it on. Here's your semaphore. Right? Okay, breakout. Came to that zone, retrace. This is the composite man teasing you. And then he comes back and he grabs it. This, Michael Adelson calls fair value gap, compression. Now, this guy's really overboard at times. Here you can see it again, fair value gap. No, this is not fair value gap. This is compression. Fair value gap. This there to there would be fair value gap, which gets dealt with there. I still don't understand that. Right. So, I switched on our signal server, and here's it here. And I switched it on. Time in Johannesburg right now is 25 to 5. I switched it on at 20 past 4. And you tell me now there's no trade. You tell me, how does a signal provider give you 3 trades a day when I see all these trades? And we can cherry pick. So let's just choose one closer to our time. Let's go to 4:30. Now the American market opens 4:30 here in Johannesburg. So let's take cognizance of it, because now there's chaos in the market. Well, not chaos, but organized chaos. So let's look at something, and this is an American favorite, right? Semaphore 2. But let's just grab something outside the American market. Let's look at this here. Peak formation high, Semaphore 3, sell, 30, New Zealand. Let's have a look at it. GP New Zealand, 30 minutes. And I'm just going to use this one here because these really give me hassles. Okay, 30 minutes, nothing here to the side, so I'm going to pull it up, and I see peak formation, I sell, and there's it there. Boom, there you go. And at the same time, let's just make this a bit bigger so you can see. This is live. You can go check this on your charts right now. GP New Zealand on the 25th of March at 25 to 5. GMT plus 2. There's a peak formation high, possible retracement. And this thing's, I know for a fact, this thing's going to bounce around here now. And it's, I don't know what, thumbs up. It broke through supply. It may now test it and then come back down into the demand zone over here. This is what you need to decide, top-down analysis. But in the course of events, this is a 30-minute chart here. Here's a 30-minute TDI. Here's an on-chart 30-minute TDI. Look how nicely it sits outside. Eh? Look at all these MBLs becoming shark fins. Right? So these ones here, I really advise you. You get signals on it. But if you're going to, let me just freeze this thing, close this up. If you're going to go for ones, like here, go for pips. Don't go for closure, because I'm going to put the exit signals in right now. You'll see this exit will be here somewhere. Rather say, from here to here, and I need a spreadsheet to help us decide. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. And this is GP New Zealand. So I'm going to go get New Zealand going here. This is just my little spreadsheet to see how much pips I'm making. I'm going to go for GP New. I'm looking at this one, blood in the water. And where's the blood in the water here? Buy, right? It's below the MBL but above the red. And easy there, that little area there. That's a 1. So let's see how much pips we can get out of this. And from top to bottom, this is 23 pips. Let's just say I take half of it, 11 pips, 12 pips. See what 12 pips gives us. And this is GP New Zealand, and I go in and I put and I put 12 pips in. 0, 1, 2. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Enter. Gives me $87. In my country, that's 1,326 rand. For the day, I'm done. For the day, I'm done. Put in an order, put in your pips you want, walk away. Right? On a 1. So sniper entry is blood in the water. I call it sniper as well. I'm not sure if I'm correct in that, but blood in the water definitely. I would go for pips. If it's MBL and shark fin, I'll go for exit. It's up to you. You can still go for pips. So let's examine another entry. Right? Before we move on to another entry, let's just look at this one here. Let's make it smaller. Leave a TDI on chart on. And look at this massive one here. This here, guys. We got to get this signal, which was midday for here. Midday. Look at that. It's an MBL, a 2. And you go all the way up here. That's 70 pips. I'm telling you, this is big money. Let's check it out quickly. And then we move on. 70 pips, 70 pips. Where are you? Yeah, this flipping. Where is this thing? Yeah. there you, sorry. Okay, 70 pips, New Zealand. 70, right. 70 is $500 in my country, South Africa, 7,000 Rand. Done and dusted. Right. That's how we make decisions. So here you have it here. Let's look for another entry. Let's just take, these always they break out, right? When the New York exchange opens, the Dow Jones goes chaos, the S&P 500, the US, the NASDAQ, my broker calls it US 100, they go chaos. These are 30 minutes, so let's just have a look at him, and they're all into buys. All three are into buys, semaphores and buys, right? Which means that there's a semaphore here at the bottom. So we're still on 30 minutes. Let's just take the US 500, S&P 500. And there's a semaphore 2 back, right? There's a 4 and it says buy. Now, some of us will see that it's coming down here, the TD chart. So it may be preparing itself for double bottom. So I would be very cautious on this one here. And if I look at the NASDAQ, there's also a semaphore there, could be the same. Now, just as a matter of interest, here's a NASDAQ. The NASDAQ, the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, they basically follow one another at times, right? Bear in mind that the S&P 500 is the top 500 American companies, okay? The Dow Jones 30 is the top 30 American companies, which are found also within the S&P 500. And in the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones 30, you get the NASDAQ 100, which is the top 100 IT companies. Therefore, it makes sense that at most times they follow one another. You would not get the situation where they in extreme opposites, right? That's what you find in those S&P 500, the basket, so to say. Okay. So before America opened, this thing was dipping, and then there's a breakout. But look at that. A breakout to the bottom, but it shot up. And this is the American Open. And this here is because of that news event, the reaction to the news event. That's why I don't trade news, okay? So let's move away from those that are really affected. Let's look at a Euro CAD. Now, let's look at a Euro New Zealand. The time now, it's 20 to 5. Has anything developed as yet? Nothing, right? Let's boost it up. I have a boost button here on the server. And while that's happening, you can see something happening. Let's just see what it gives us. I'm not going to pause it in case you think I'm manipulating it. So let it just do what it needs to do. And it comes up. It's talking Bitcoin. I'm not going to worry about Bitcoin. It's just these, the USD ZAR. Let's examine these here. Top to bottom, right? 1642. Yeah, it's exactly now. Let's look at the USD ZAR 4 hour. And it says shark fin above buy. USD ZAR 4 hour shark fin buy. Okay. Come on. 4 hour shark fin buy. Right. There's the, let's take a semaphore out. There's a 3, the shark fin. Let's see if it is a shark fin. Right? Yeah, it broke over. There's your shark fin. Okay, that's a 4 hour. There's your 4 hour again. There's a 1 day. It's a good entry, right? But the spread on this is big. The volatility is radical. It's up to you to trade this thing, right? But there's it there. Let's grab one more, and then we put in our exit signals. See how does that help us? Come on, narrow down, narrow down, narrow down. Right, narrow down. Okay, remember if you need the TDI on chart, keep it on chart. You can see this is really, let's just examine this before I move on. This is interesting. a signal here, right? A 3, a shark fin on a 4-hour. If you can stand the drawdown, trade the USD, so, right? So there's a shark fin there. There's a shark fin, and it's there on 3. But if you have an on-chart TDI, you can see this thing came out there, really retraced. So from there, look, this is a good buy, really. There was no MBL here, right? My criteria is based on the 50 as well. My criteria. And I go with Jeff from FX Mindshare up in the UK. But just take it from here to here. That's 48,000 Rand. In the space of 8 times 4 is 24. Space of 1 day, that's 48,000 Rand. I kid you not. Right. Let's put the exits in. There's 3 types of exits we have. We have the shark fin exit, right? And the shark fins are good ones to trade, right? But do your analysis, because a shark fin is a burst in the market. And I shown you to the TDI tricks that the Bollinger Band or the volatility band will squeeze. It will lead into a breakout, right? And then it will reverse. So when you get shark fins and the green breaks above the blue, it must come back below the blue again. These are good ones to trade, and you have to trust it, right? The MBL and the blood in the water, you can trade it as a nice MBL, becomes a shark fin. But I know guys that only trade these shark fins. And as we've seen, this shark fin here gave us 48,000 Rand, right? 48,000. Okay. So, your exits, you have your shark fin exit, you have your MBL exit, and you have your red over green exit. Okay, so put the exits in, and here's the exit here. This is the TDI coming back in here, right? They're so close, there's one signal. So, if you go into this trade, and this was a 1-day trade, and you walk away, and you're waiting for this, you can see the same cross there. Is it there? Is it there? Is it there on chart? And there's a signal a bar later. You're never going to get this here at the bottom, guys. Never. I tried it. I spent months trying to code something in here. I just couldn't get it. I just accepted the fact. Eventually I learned to take what's on the table, take meat off the bone, leave the bone for the dogs to fight. Right? So that from there to there is 31,000 Rand. Still good, eh? And you telling me that you're going to moan and groan about you lost a bit there, or there's an exit there, but a massive jump here. You're still on ZAR. That's 17,000 Rand. Right? And I'm talking one lot. So whenever I give a value estimation, it's based on one lots. This year, for me to enter trade, I only need to trade 1/10 of a lot to make $120, and that's what I need to do. That's me. That's how much my house needs, right? I don't need 48. I love for 48,000, but my risk appetite or my risk management rules at the current moment says take what you need, right? And I take what I need. And if I see blood in the water, I go for pips. If I see an MBL, I'll go for exits. There's an exit there. And if I see a shark fin, I go definitely for exit, right? These signals have been limited to 250. I can extend it if I need to. But let's just examine this here. Let's examine another signal. And 1645, this thing is still into the, you see, and I don't want to look at 15. I can look at a 15. Let's look at a 15. GPUSD 15. Same for sell, possible retracement. GP New Zealand. You're not really getting MBLs, right? Because the market open, you're going to get these peak formations. This is when the market maker is at his busiest, creating his peak formation highs and lows. There's a shark fin on the GPC, and this was 4 minutes ago. Let's go look at it. And it's a 15-minute, and I don't advocate trading a 15-minute signal, and I may not give it out. And GPC for 15-minute shark fin. Let's see here, GP buy, right? GPC for 15-minute buy. Right. If you get this on your charts, don't worry. It's just the platform adjusting itself. It's not like, yeah, look at that, Bollinger Band squeeze. It's not that. It's your indicator. There's a sharp one on the GPC for. Let's check it out. And here's your sharp one, 3, right? Happened there. Now there was a sharp one there and there. Okay. Only if it shows here. Let's see if I can see a GPC for. Here's a MBL, but it's a 2-hour. There's a shark fin on the 60-minute. That's good. And there's a 30-minute shark fin. So these signals did come up if we weren't busy yada in. We would have picked up these shark fins that all came in here. Right? When this thing started already, I suppose, no, there's a MBL. It graduated into these here, graduated into shark fins. These are the 2 MBL, which was this one here, graduated into a shark fin. These are also good deals, eh? If you look at it here, and there's still no exit, right? So if you just look at a GPC for, and you take it from there to there, it's 35 pips. Bring up that little spreadsheet of mine. I'm going to type it in here at the bottom and just pop it up on top. See for 35 pips. 35, and it's going to be converted into dollars. Easy there. 35 CFA. 35 gives you around about almost $400 this trade, and in my country, rands, it's almost 6,000 rand. And this is a 15-minute trade. This is 45 minutes, giving you 6,000 rand. Okay, so let's shut this down. Let's just have a last look at this here. And these are all your trades. I think, there's so much out there. I think to take away the 15-minute and for you to take your time analyzing, like we're going to do top-down analysis in the next video, you can actually see you don't need these signals, these proper signals left, right, and center. They're there, and anyone, I can go through anyone, and I can validate it. But I like the 4 hours, the 1 hour, 30-minute maybe, or the 15-minute, it just changes, man. If you take it away, and you guys learn from it, and when you get a trial, and you go through the trial with this, and you train yourself on 30 minutes, you'll see it actually benefits you with the little tools that we gave you. Well, not little tools, with these tools and analysis on chart TDI, multi-time frame TDI, semaphore, supply and demand zone, broke through resistance. Very, very important, right? Take note of it. Okay, so that's it. Anytime you need me to test this, to prove it again, I have no qualms in doing it. This is live. I've given you the times. You go and you look at these times, the signals, the examples I gave you, the USD ZAR. You're going to get the signals. You're going to get the exit signals. I don't advocate the blood in the water. I like the MBL, the shark fin. I like the semaphore. But I need to have confluence with it. So go and have a look at that, guys. Those are our signals. That's what's going to come to you. And you choose between, like I said, 148 screens, right? That's 37 instruments, 4 time frames. It's 148 screens. Or you go and you sit and you wait for your broker to give you those 3 signals a day, when to enter, when to exit, giving you no power over your trade and not really making you a better trader, because from this we're going to graduate into a better level of trading, a more, well, I would say reliable, but a more mature level. But this is just as good, eh? Just as good. If you're into what I'm into, my 10, 20 little pips a day, I'm happy. I trade BTMM and I get it that way. Okay, enjoy your day. Chat soon. And the next video will be top-down analysis. Cheers, guys.